When a league is as big as the NFL, consisting of roughly 2,000 players throughout a given season, it can be hard to gain the recognition that you deserve as a player. The best of the best are usually well known and recognized for their greatness year in and year out, such as guys like Tom Brady, Patrick Mahomes, Aaron Donald, and so on. But for the guys who aren't within the cream of the crop, but are still considered great players, recognition can be hard to come by. There are only so many season awards, Pro Bowl spots, and All-Pro selections. So it's no wonder players are getting snubbed every single year, whether it's justified or not. So, with that being said, here are the top 5 best underrated players in the National Football League. Starting us off at number 5, we've got a cornerback for the New England Patriots that you casual fans likely haven't heard of, and I can't blame you. When you're playing alongside guys like Stephon Gilmore and Jason McCourty, it may be hard to find some spotlight. So allow me to introduce J.C. Jackson at number 5. Having Gilmore, the McCourty twins, and Jonathan Jones gave the Patriots the number 1 secondary last year, where they intercepted a league-high 25 passes, held quarterbacks to a league-low 67.3 rating, among other things. But the player that rounds off that defense is none other than undrafted standout J.C. Jackson. Playing only 2 years in the league, J.C. hasn't allowed a completion percentage on his targets over 54%, despite being targeted 45 or more times in each season. Let me also not forget to mention the fact that despite only starting 6 games last season, J.C. Jackson amassed 5 INTs and 10 passes defended, bringing his career totals to 8 interceptions and 16 passes defended in only 11 career starts. If this somehow wasn't enough, let me tell you, he was 3rd in the league last year for passer rating allowed when targeted at 35.6, and the fact that he's yet to give up a touchdown. Even though the Patriots' secondary is loaded with talent, I'd get to know J.C. Jackson ASAP because he's definitely not going to be a player flying under the radar much longer. At number 4, we've actually got one of the big guys down in the trenches playing left tackle with Anthony Castonzo. Despite being extremely efficient as a premier tackle in the NFL his entire career, excluding his rookie campaign, which you can't blame him for, Anthony Castonzo has never made an All-Pro team, a Pro Bowl roster, or been praised as a top 100 player in any given season. This is completely absurd considering he's only given up 41 sacks on 8,898 career snaps, where more than a third of those came from his first 2 seasons in the league. In the past 2 seasons, Anthony Castonzo has played 1,820 snaps and only given up 5 sacks, giving him a 0.27% ratio, better than a guy like David Bakhtiari, who has been a Pro Bowler once and an All-Pro twice in the past 2 seasons. Anthony Castonzo is now entering his 10th year in the league, which is likely going to be one of his last. So if he never gains any real recognition outside of his own organizations, who have appreciated him very much salary-wise, just know he was a lot better than his accolades, or the lack thereof, show. At number 3, we've got a wide receiver for the Detroit Lions, Kenny Golladay. Imagine finishing 7th on the year in receiving yards, 3rd in yards per reception, 2nd in 20-plus yard receiving plays, and 1st in receiving touchdowns, and not even being named a top 100 player by your peers. Yup, that's the life of Kenny Golladay. Despite only having 65 receptions in 2019, ranking 41st in the entire league, and only having Matthew Stafford as a quarterback for half the season, to put up those kinds of numbers is pretty damn ridiculous. In the last 20 years, there have only been 2 players to ever have a season consisting of 1,100 plus receiving yards paired with 10 plus receiving touchdowns, while having 65 or fewer receptions on the season. One of those players is former Pro Bowler Mike Wallace. The other player is none other than Kenny Golladay. If Mike Wallace can be used as any sort of reference point for Kenny Galladay's career going forward, it should be a good indication that things are only going to get better for him. Coming in at number 2, we've got a safety from the Minnesota Vikings not named Harrison Smith. Instead, we've got Anthony Harris. The tandem of Harrison Smith and Anthony Harris are considered the best safety duo in the entire NFL by many. Over the past 2 seasons, they've surrendered only 2 total touchdowns in exchange for 17 total interceptions. The duo has also helped the Vikings secondary earn the 3rd best Pro Football Focus team coverage grade at 91.3, despite not having any real cornerback help. The league is well aware of this frightening duo, but when it comes to recognition and awards, it seems that only one of the 2 really gets the shine. Harrison Smith has been a Pro Bowler 5 times. Anthony Harris, though, never. Harrison Smith has been a first-team All-Pro member once and a second-team member once. Harris, however, has never made an All-Pro team. In the last 5 seasons, Harrison Smith has been labeled as a top 100 player each and every year by his fellow peers. Anthony Harris, you might ask, has never even been mentioned once in his entire career as a top 100 player. Absolutely ridiculous. Just judging off of last season, Anthony Harris had the highest PFF coverage grade among all NFL safeties at 91.6. He was also in the top 10 in the entire league for passer rating allowed, allowing an astounding 44.2 rating, defended passes at 11, and was the co-leader for leading the league in interceptions at 6. If this just doesn't absolutely scream underrated, then I guess you could say I don't even know what the word underrated means. And at number 1, we've got kind of a weird one with Chandler Jones. It is expected, and at the same time, it may not be for some. Last season, Jones got all the honors he deserved. He was a member of the AP All-Pro First Team, was voted as a Pro Bowler, and ranked number 15 on the top 100 players list of 2020. Despite being in the top 10 every single season since 2013 in sacks, having the most sacks of any player since the year 2012 with 96, which is the year he entered the league, and is on pace to break Bruce Smith's career sack record of 200, Chandler Jones has only been selected to the Pro Bowl 3 times in his 8-year career and been an All-Pro team member only twice. But don't expect Chandler Jones to get snubbed anymore, especially in this coming year. Chandler Jones is extremely ready and confident he'll break Michael Strahan's single-season sack record of 22.5 and goes as far as saying, quote, "I don't think that's hard to get." Pair Jones's confidence and preparedness with an increasingly dangerous and relevant Arizona Cardinals squad, don't expect nothing short of a spectacular season coming from Chandler Jones next year.